most commercial zip line in the world.
Oh, I know about this zip line.
Well, yeah, you were, you did some good screaming on that.
It was the most terrifying thing that I've ever done in my life. Have you watched the video back as well?
I have. You had that spinach in your teeth, remember?
Thanks for that, Sean. So today's guest on the Unplugged podcast by Pierre by Whitney is Sean Taylor, owner of Zip World. Welcome, Sean.
Pnawn da, Whitney.
I knew you'd have to be different.
That's good afternoon in Welsh.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you for being a guest.
Thank you very much for welcoming me to this place by the sea.
Yes. Well, we're actually in Sean's location. Been so kind to rent us his holiday home, as he'd call it. Do you want to? And we're in Anglesey.
We're near Rosniger in a place called Caermaran, which is, if you hear a plane in a minute, it's because we're right next to RAF Valley. Yep,
and honestly, this place is stunning. You'll see it all over our socials anyway. Thank you for letting us rent.
No problem.
So, Sean, you've had quite a journey within your career, from lumberjack, Royal Marines, bodyguard, to now owner of Zip World. Tell me, let's go back to the beginning. Who is Sean Taylor, and where did you start?
Wow, you've done your research on me.
I have done my research.
So, I grew up in the Conwy Valley, little village called Trevi.
That's in Wales.
That's in North Wales. Pretty idyllic sort of upbringing. Great kind of environment to grow up in, a close-knit community, no crime. Went to school, local school. I think fair to say, not the most academic person in the world. Did my A-levels, first year of A-levels, and then about 5 of us right at the very end of the first year said, guys, your behaviour's been atrocious, but I'm not going to expel you, but you're not coming back next year.
Oh, wow. Well,
so a lot of the lads went into the military. I decided to carry on in my father's lumberjack business, as you mentioned. Yeah. And amazing, great job.
So did your father start that up off his own back, or did he follow it on?
My dad was from Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Came over, met my mother when he was in forestry school in a place called Capel
Yeah.
Beat up all the farmers. He was quite a big guy. Beat up all the farmers.
Why?
Well, to win my mother over. And I still talk to some of the farmers about him. He died.
Do you?
Yeah, he died about 2 years ago. So kind of great upbringing. Work hard, play hard, sort of. That's what we were brought up to be. My brother now has taken over the lumberjack business. I decided one day.
Is that still going, sorry?
Yeah, it's still going.
Wow.
Still going. So, but it's changed with technologies on big machines now. Yeah. And I decided one day, I want to see the world, and I do say, a bit of a cliche, I joined the Marines for an easier life, because it was brutal.
Is the Royal Marines going to be an easier life?
Well, I had 20 years in the Royal Marines, so amazing, privileged sort of time there. In fact, I'm off after this. I'm going to a friend of mine used to work for me in the Marines, and we're burying him tomorrow morning.
Oh my God!
So, but yeah, 20 years.
What did you get up to in the Marines?
I was a jungle warfare instructor. I was a parachute instructor. I was on a parachute display team for 5 years. Ski instructor, unarmed combat instructor. Wow. Marksman, you name it, did all that. And in the Marines, it was just an amazing. It was just an amazing. What made it though? It's the guys you work with. I'm still mates with them. It is a brotherhood. Did 20 years there, and then what happens with a lot of Marines? We don't tend to plan for our future career, and there's not a lot of call for marksmen, snipers, and unarmed combat instructors. Apart from a Friday night in Llanrwst, sometimes unarmed combat comes in handy.
Well, I can only imagine what goes on them.
Yeah, and I could talk to you all day now about what we did in the Marines, but I kind of transitioned then, didn't have a plan, finished on a Thursday. I was in Kabul in Afghanistan on the Sunday, worked on President Karzai's inaugural election, so I run all the security for a province there, quite interesting, and then I did more Hollywood stuff, and then back to Iraq, maritime security. Did that for...
You did bodyguarding for Pamela Anderson, didn't you? Tell us a bit more about that.
I can't possibly tell you about Pamela. No, she was a great client.
Yeah.
Really good client. Probably the best one I've had. Great lady. But then, and then you get some that aren't as easy.
Yeah. I bet you had some difficult
Yeah, it is, and it sounds a glamorous job, but there's a lot of boredom there. And I did it, made some money, and I set up my first business, which is Treetop Adventure 2007. That was just up the road from where I went to school.
And is this where you started in a shipping container?
Yeah, shipping container.
So tell us all about this, because
So
I'm
that
really
was,
interested in
for me, massive learning curve. We found out about planning, found out employment rules, you name it. Learning curve like that. Loved it, embraced it. Lots of challenges, which you have to overcome when you're working for yourself, which you will know about.
So do.
Massive amounts of, and you've got to be a certain person, a very resilient person, I believe, to do that, which is key. And that's what I, when we recruit people now, they need to be resilient. Yeah. Started 2007, shipping container, mobile office.
What made you think in regards to, right, I'm just going to get a shipping container and I'm just going to start a business?
I'd been away from home now for about 26 years. I'd lived in Hong Kong. I'd lived down in Dorset. Spent a lot of time in America. Wanted to come home. I was single, so I didn't have any family ties. Family was still up. My father was still alive then. And I kind of got this hunch that going to adventure tourism, historically in Snowdonia, and if you wanted to do something, you had to be skilled. You had to be a climber, canoeist, have your own gear. So I wanted to open up to the masses, which we did and very quickly Treetop Adventure became one of the premier high ropes kind of adventure courses in the trees. And we went from there. It's in our DNA. It's in my DNA. You've got to keep innovating. If you don't innovate, you die in our industry.
You guys are innovating consistently. I mean, some of the things that you've created and the way that, well, from a shipping container to what you have going on now.
I'm quite lucky. I live when I'm not here, which I'm not here enough. I live in an old school at about 1,000 feet, and it's a bit like a bond layer. So instead of getting the white cat, I've got my dog, and I can think.
Which isn't here today.
I'm lucky I can think of the next projects, and a lot of them been very successful. We've had a few dogs, a few failures, which it's a learning curve again, because if you're not pushing it, you're not, sometimes you have to have failed to know what you can see in the future.
100%. So in regards to innovating, so it's like you've just said, going back to that, in regards to you getting the ideas and being the visionary person, how do you create, how do you think of all these ideas in your mind?
So, I get an idea and I mention it to the team. We've got a great team. We kick the tyres. We think, hey, will it go with the brand? It's really important that it suits the brand. Then we talk about return of investments. Got to keep on adapting all the time. Whether it's to trends within the industry or it could be government legislation.
The adventure tourism industry can be quite competitive. What are key strategies that you guys implement?
You say that, and I don't want to come over here being pompous, wherever, but we don't kind of a natural competitor in what we do, because we are very niche. We've happen to have the fastest zip line in the world. Yes. But more importantly, the busiest car park. We've probably got the most commercial zip line in the world, with four people every 3 minutes going down that zip line.
I know about this zip line.
Well, yeah. You were, you did some good screaming on that. You were a screamer.
It was the most terrifying thing that I've ever done in my life. Have you watched the video back as well?
I have. You had that spinach in your teeth, remember?
Thanks for that, Sean. But it was absolutely terrifying. I mean, when you go over the quarry, that is just so beautiful. How you've thought about that is just insane. Yeah,
it's a natural curvature of the wire, so it works really well. But we have got more non-zipline products than we have zipline products.
Yeah, what are they?
We've got coasters. The coaster's the busiest coaster in the world.
Is it?
That's in Betws-y-Coed. We've got bounce below underground. We've got a golf underground.
Yeah,
we've got
that is
swings,
insane. The caves.
plummets. Net systems. Yeah, and we're developing a lot more. We're going to hopefully get through planning, which we're hoping will happen, that we're going to have the largest swing in the world. 92 metres, 10-person swing over that quarry you went over.
Really?
We're looking after the luge, which is an amazing concept. That's in Blaen for Stiniog. We're looking at a new technology. I'm off to New Zealand next month. looking at technology on a trolley which will actually power you up and then release you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at doing that down in London. We got sites we're looking at in the Peak District. We're going underground in the Lake District.
I mean, the caves that you've got down in Wales, they're just insane.
In Blaenau
Who
Ffestiniog,
thinks of
say it, Blaenau
I
Ffestiniog.
can't say it. Thanks for embarrassing Michelle. What is it? You that comes up with all these ideas,
No,
or
I mean, I will give Andrew Hudson, our CEO.
Yeah.
He came up with this idea of having underground golf.
Love that.
And I went, ridiculous, it won't work, it doesn't golf and it will the brand, but because it worked because of the location, you're 500 feet underground.
It's insane.
So maybe on the surface probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So we've got other ideas. I'm off to Innsbruck in May, so we're going to the Alpine Show there, looking at new products as well. So keep on freshening things up.
I mean, you guys are growing and you're growing at speed. You've just created the slide within London.
Yeah.
You're consistently innovating and pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve. What are the biggest challenges that you face within the industry, or you as a business?
The biggest challenge we have is for growth is planning. It's the planning system in the UK is broken. Planning councils don't have the resource, so it's slow. Then you get legislation. It's just massively frustrating. So yeah, that's what holds us up. There's that, but we tend to paddle our own canoe. There's challenges like national insurance coming in, but we got to overcome it.
Yeah.
And I think what works well is it has worked for us is we do iconic, world-class experiences on iconic sites, and then people will come.
Yeah.
And that's what we found. We bring hundreds of thousands of people into Snowdonia.
Yeah.
And they come back. We're doing the same in the Lake District. We'll be doing it in London, and it works. It's a model that works.
And do you think you're going to scale to Europe?
Yeah, we're looking at Europe. We're looking at maybe an acquisition in Ireland.
Oh.
Certain places in America.
Oh wow.
I'd love to one in Scotland.
Yeah.
So got a very ambitious 5-year plan.
That's amazing.
So you haven't asked yet, but so I'll mention it. So we did have a change of ownership in Zipworld in January. LDC, who were private equity, exited after 5 years. We had a great 5 years with them, and Dolphin Capital came in, who've got more of a background in leisure. They're a family office, which means they can take a longer view on things. So we're just bedding in at the moment. But it's I'm enjoying working with the guys.
Yeah,
they come at a different direction. They're more challenging, which I embrace. We're into the data much more now, and so it's good.
We're just going to ask you that.
They are slowly funded.
Yes, you are. But I am going to actually say that again in regards to acquisition. Well, my next question, I'm like, so you've recently just gone through an acquisition. Dolphin Capital. Tell us a bit more about that, Sean.
So Dolphin Capital entered in January. LDC, Lloyd's Development Corporation. They were with us for 5-6 years. They obviously made their money. We had a great time with them. Really good guys. In fact, I'm meeting them in Birmingham next week for a curry. So Dolphin Capital came in. They're a family office, so they can take a longer view of their investment. We're just bedding in at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying working with them. They come from a different way of working. They're a lot more into data.
Yeah.
Keeping my CFO busy.
Yeah.
But we've got a really, really, as I mentioned, we've got a really, really ambitious 5-year plan where we want to grow the business multiple of 3. Wow. To do that, we're innovating. We're going now into accommodation, short stay. Change the menu.
I've seen that today.
Yeah.
On Carl's.
With Carl, who is our COO.
Yeah.
Changing the menu, giving that a bit of a slant. But basically, what we do is we work back, and the front end is the customer. We always work back. What do the customer want?
And your team really care about the customers. I mean, I've worked with a couple of your teams, and honestly, the customer service, what you guys offer, and the care and thoughts that your team, you can see how much rewarding it is to see families happy.
Yeah, I mean there's two things that gives me a buzz is seeing, and I love going to talk to my customers.
Yeah.
They're really now they're part of our family because they come back, and I think what they have told me they love to see is bringing new products in, and that's if you keep on coming to us, we will keep on reinvesting. So there's that, and then also seeing my team grow and developing the team's really important.
100%. And you know what? They all want to develop and do really well, though. I mean, it is a fun company to work for, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's better than being a funeral director, I suppose. You know?
Yeah, I think so too. Looking ahead, you've mentioned consolidation, entering the short stay industry and European expansion. Can you elaborate on that?
So we're looking at something in the Alps.
Yes.
We've still got, you know, I'm always ambitious, but sometimes I need pulling back. There is still a lot of low-hanging fruit
Does
in
Andrew
the UK.
do that for you? Does Andrew pull you back? Rein you in?
A little bit, he does.
I can imagine that you need that, Sean.
I do, and I've got better because I have in the past gone down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
You know, we've had one product went very badly and cost us money, and more so than cost us money, it cost a lot of stress within the whole management system. So you know, and I took full responsibility for that. You know, should have done more due diligence on the product and also on the company.
Oh, wow.
But you live and learn, and that's what I love. I keep on learning. Every day I learn something new.
Love that. And what is next for Zip World? I mean, I know we've touched on some things that you are going to be. Is there any other big exciting projects?
We're going to strengthen the team.
Yeah.
We're bringing in a development director. That's to help Andrew, who's the CEO of Zip World, to get our 5-year plan. We're looking at technology all the time. We're looking at new sites, new ideas, innovation. But I think I'm guilty of not coming back and remind myself we've got to have fun. If we're not having fun, what's the point? You know. So yeah, and you know, I need to work on my work-life balance a bit better because I do.
And we're going to ask you about that. Are you consistently on the business? Do you give yourself some time to break away and just relax and enjoy what you've created? Because what you've created is phenomenal. And it's like, do you look at yourself and are you proud?
No.
Why?
Because I'm still looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward. There'll be time for that with my rocking chair, my cigar. But
is that where you're heading?
I don't know where we're heading. Who knows? You know. But I still, you know, every day I go to work. I'm still excited because we can make a difference, and it's not everyone can do that.
Yeah, because what you guys have going on within Zip World as well, what many people might not know is there's so much behind Zip World. You're involved in a lot of community work and.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's, you know, I was saying to Andrew this morning, we come out of a meeting, and if people only knew what goes on behind, people just think how hard can it be going from A to B down a zip line. You know, we've now got a data scientist.
Yes. And
he's one of the few guys in Zip World I don't give a hard time to because I haven't got a clue what he does.
So you give everyone a hard time?
I haven't got a clue what he does. You know, it's so. You know, I know it's important for behaviours and that, but it's great. And you know, I've surrounded myself in Zip World by people who could do their job much better than I ever could.
I think that's the best route to go down. It's something that I always go on about in regards to and then get out of their way, take the right people on, and then just move. Shut up, Whitney.
Yeah, you know, it is. You know, I've got amazingly talented people working for me, and that only happens because people want to come and work for the brand.
Yes.
So we got B Corp.
I was just going to say this again. He keeps beating me to it.
Thunder.
Yeah, you just he's just going ahead. I have B Corp on next. Let me ask you that. You guys are B Corp certified.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more in regards to that.
It took us 2 years. It was Matt Britton, who was our CFO, Chief Financial Officer. He took that on. It was 2 years of real heavy lifting. It's a real tough certification to get.
Why is it so tough?
Because their standards, you need to get 80 points. We got 105, I think. And it's people who don't know about what B Corp is. It's environmental and social. It's all about how we do business in our communities, what we do with the environment. And what I said is, if we're going down this journey, I don't want it to be a tick box. We've got to live and breathe it. So we've had it now, and Dolphin Capital have come on board, and we now to go back and remind ourselves what we need to do, and I think it'll pay dividends if you get it right. People want to come and work for us. Yeah, and it is just basically it's the right thing to do.
So what's next for Sean Taylor?
Well, I'm off to unfortunately, I'm off to former Royal Marine, who we're burying tomorrow in Taunton. Back up, some meetings. I've got a busy time now for Easter.
Yeah.
And Easter's a great. You can always gauge how we gauge how we getting on. If we get a good Easter, it's a great kind of accelerator into the year. So really looking forward to get some weather like this.
Yes.
Some great products. Got the team really embedded now. We've got a lot of continuity we've done with the teams on site managers. So it's exciting.
Have you any big plans for? Because a lot of people thought that you retired, didn't they?
I don't know where. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know where that came out in the press. No, I mean I've never been busier. Still absolutely dedicated to the cause.
Yeah.
Off to Innsbruck to the Alpine Show in May. Come back, going down to see a supplier about this brand new exciting product down in Christchurch in New Zealand. Loads of other things. There's new accommodation coming on board. The hotel, the Tinnacoid.
Yeah, I mean you've got the lodges as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
they're unbelievable.
So it's really exciting. And what I love about it is we've got a 5-year plan, but things will change, and we can adapt very quickly, and we're quite flexible. And that's the beauty of having a private business.
What does it mean to you in regards to being a Welsh businessman within Wales?
Great question. I'm incredibly proud. I'm an incredibly proud Welshman. I'm one of the only things I do out as it world really is for my work-life balances. I'm a president of my local rugby club, Nancomer Rugby Club. Incredibly proud, fully amateur rugby club. Very Welsh, agricultural, great bunch of lads, no egos, and I support them as much as I can. Like I said earlier on, I'm from the Conway Valley originally, moved away, came back in. So, at the moment, I've got a house at 1,000 feet overlooking Snowdonia. The door's not even locked. We've got an amazing community.
Yeah. Do you find the community support you more because you're from Wales as well?
It's a double-edged sword. So I'll go back. My community very, very safe, no crime, tight-knit. However, when you do business in Wales and your perception is you're successful, you do have what we call the tall poppy syndrome, where certain parts of the community or in business life, there's a bit of envy maybe. Sometimes as your perception as well is if it's a bigger, I suppose we are now a big, I don't think about it a lot, but we are a fairly big company in a relatively small country. So we've got 3 sites in North Wales, 1 in South Wales. Our brand is brand's probably bigger than what the company is, so that starts with perception, and it is challenging. Sometimes we do get more challenged, could be in planning. This is what I feel. It's my personal, and it is. There's tough. Doing business in Wales has its challenges. We got businesses in England as well, and we get. It's just tougher sometimes in Wales. Give an example. You've got permitted development. In England, you've got 60 days, which means you can do a pop-up campsite in July and August. In Wales, it's 28 days. There is an extra cost sometimes of doing business in Wales, even though I love Wales and I love living in Wales. But there's challenges. There's political challenges. So that's the way it is, and sometimes, we've got 4 sites now in Wales. We are looking now across the border.
Yes.
We just opened in London, as you know.
What's
so it's exciting.
That's going to be added to London? Are you doing?
So we're looking at a zip line off it.
Yes.
We've got planning actually going in now. We've got the slide. We're looking at a really innovative. This is why I'm going to New Zealand. We're looking at 100.
I thought you were going to set a zip line up at New Zealand when you said that.
No, that's where the supplier is.
Yeah.
And then we've got a 100-metre free fall experience coming off it.
Oh wow!
So it's going to be. And what we do is we create destinations, and a destination means multi activities, multi products, and people stay longer.
Yeah, because you can spend your day somewhere. It's that cave
Yeah, you know, you come to North Wales now. If you did all the products, it'd take you 3-4 days.
Yeah.
You know. So back to Wales. You know, I love living here. It's
Yeah.
tough sometimes working here. You know, and that's me being diplomatic.
Sean Taylor wouldn't be Sean Taylor without being like that. Well done on everything that you've created, Sean. It is really...
Thank you, Whitney.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it is. It's incredible. And thank you for coming and being a guest today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sean Taylor, everyone.
That's a cut.